Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here. Well, the European Union is digging their deep claws into all the countries that are in their grasp, stating that if these countries don't let in a mass amount of immigrants, then they are going to, quote, use force against those countries. Now, this is one reason why things like Brexit is developing and other countries are following the suit, attempting to get out of the European Union. First of all, they go demanding things that they shouldn't, putting rules and regulations on these countries. And second, you're getting tensions risen in these countries and people are wanting to leave it as a result. This is one reason I am very, very hugely against a new world order, against the global governance, against that kind of system, because as I've always stated, they go imposing laws that your country did not agree to or vote on. Ergo, the case that is happening in Hungary. Check out this report from www.newswars.com. Now, this was put out February 7th of 2018, and it's titled, EU Threatens Force Against Countries Refusing Migrants, Globalist Assembling a European Union Army. Now, this report goes on to detail that European globalists are preparing to force Central European nations to accept mandated migrant quotas and open borders, according to a Hungarian Prime Minister, Orban. Now take a listen to the Prime Minister himself, so you don't have to take my words for it. Here it is.
Az elnökségi ülése a tegnapi nap során megtárgyalta a belgák miniszterelnökének bejelentését, miszerint a közép-európaiakat, köztük Magyarországot is, ha kell, erővel kényszerítik arra, hogy migránsokat fogadjunk be. A terv szerint ez júniusban a miniszterelnökök brüsszeli csúcsértekezletén következik be. Az elnökségünk állást foglalt, nem engedhetünk a zsarolásnak, számunkra Magyarország az első, harcolni fogunk azokkal szemben, akik meg akarják változtatni Magyarország és Európa keresztény identitását.
So there you have it. We have a prime minister saying Hungary is a Christian country, it's our nation, and we shouldn't have to abide by the rules and regulations that the EU is forcing upon us. But here's what they don't tell you at the European Union, some statistics that you might need to know about. For starters, I'll throw up on the screen, this is on Asylum statistics, but it's showing currently that over 2 million people in 2015 and 2016 have applied or sought for asylum in Europe just in those 2 years alone. Additional statistics reveal that the European migrants are mainly from countries including Syria, Afghanistan, and Iran, and you can see a list of the top 10 there. Now, additionally, the reason that Hungary is pushing so hard is because, as it turns out, and compared to any other country in the EU, you can see that the chart reveals that they have the highest request for applications as compared to any other country in the European Union. So that could be one of the reasons why the prime minister there is standing against these atrocities. Now, here's another thing to think about, and another thing that the mainstream media won't tell you, is that the European no-go zones in which are fully inhabited by Muslims and radical Islam's extremism, and areas in which they promote and are pushing for Sharia law, and these areas are so bad in Europe that people just won't go in these areas. They are no-go zones for anyone who is not a Muslim. Now, why would that be the case? Well, look at the very core of some of the radical beliefs in Islam, and you've got not so much of a religion of peace, if you will. Now, there are peaceful Muslims, but there are also radicals who are not. Now, check out this report from express.co.uk. This is put out in April, but I wanted to show you the actual statistics on this. But April 2016, so it's a few years ago, but European no-go zones list 900 European Union areas where police have lost control to migrants. And I think now there's possibly over 1,000 of these, yes, across the country. So these areas are places that the police won't go in because the crime rate is so bad, because a lot of migrants have come in, and there's good ones coming in and bad ones coming in. Please keep that in mind. But when you have a crisis on your hand in the European Union, and in addition to this migrant crisis, they see crime go up, They see sicknesses go up. They see the economy go down. These are all things that happen as a result of mass immigration, where it's not done through the legal system, and these people come in, take advantage of the system, and aren't paying their fair share. Now, it's a different story when they come in, pay their taxes, and are doing their part, but that is not the case across the board. This is why there are rules and regulations in place. So the question has to be asked, what is the purpose for the European Union to force this, knowing that they're having a migration crisis all across their country? Why continue to enforce it? Well, I think the answer is clear. They definitely want the middle class to go down. They want the poor made poorer and the rich made richer. This is ultimately the socialist communist goal. And this is what happens like clockwork when you allow mass immigrations. We're talking millions of people in just a couple of years. This is more than the average, if you know what I mean. And this is the kind of thing that they're dealing with across the board. And let me just make it clear, there's good immigrants that come in, and crime and everything else that come in between. We just need to be aware of the repercussions that it causes the country. Ergo, the reason that the Prime Minister there in Hungary is standing his ground, saying the corruption of the EU. But again, why do that? Well, absolute power. That is what they want. You lose control on the bottom level, and you have so much chaos going on with the no-go zones, with the crime, with the immigration crisis, with people having to give more money from their paychecks and taxes in order to support that immigration crisis. It's going to bring the value of what the income is on the average person down, 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 and down until they get you at a controllable, needy level where you're reliant on the government. And this has been the goal of the New World Order, the European Union, the United Nations all along, all of which can be openly exposed in Agenda 21 or Agenda 2030, as it is now called. I've read the entire 300 some odd page report, and yes, part of the stated goal is depopulation, through birth control, but another one is let's take money from the richer countries, give it to the poorer countries kind of aspect, so we can all go lower on the totem pole. But that's it. That's what they're after. And that's it in a nutshell. How the New World Order doesn't care much about a do, other than the fact that they want that absolute power and they want that control. Anyhow, wanted to bring you the latest on all of that. Please don't forget to check out my partner at virtualshield.com/Lisa Haven, so you can scramble your IP address and get on a virtual private network, also known as a VPN. Well, please also subscribe to the channel, and if you want to donate directly, you can do that via Patreon. I've got a link below, or even Bitcoin. Anyhow, thanks again for tuning in. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.